Hello, all. Hope I am clear, audible. Give me a minute. Okay. So let me see who's on. Okay, folks. Today we're going to talk about office politics. Yeah, how to navigate it. But before I start, I want to make sure that I'm audible and clear. So let me know on the chat with a yes if you can hear me. In fact, I'll give another couple of minutes before I kick off on the topic. Today, I don't have a presentation because I've realized that I'm terrible at keeping up with the slides and making sure I speak to you um, live. So I'd rather just talk about it, just letting you know that there's going to be a sort of a crisper version of it that is going to be uploaded onto my YouTube channel. So if you want to see visuals and so on and so forth, a little bit more entertaining version of the same thing, I would recommend go to my YouTube channel and watch that video. That's going to be coming up by Thursday evening, Indian time. So I encourage you to go check some of my videos from the previous sessions as well. So what I've done is all of the live stream sessions that I've taken in the past, I've actually recorded a curated better version of the same thing and posted it on my channel, so you can go and watch those now. Yeah, so feel free to do that. So yeah, it's 7:47 as of now, and think we're doing good so far with the clarity. So if you can hear me and see me clearly, just give me a yes on the chat. Let's start with that. Yeah. So what is it today about? It's going to be about office politics, right? So we're going to talk about office politics, and specifically some of you who actually hate office politics. And I'll be honest, right? I was one of those guys. I hated that. In fact, the whole idea of what office politics is in most of our minds is not exactly what it is. Yeah, and I'll talk a lot about that today. And I'll give you three tips on how to navigate it. What is your strength? And if you are an introvert, this is going to be something that I'm pretty sure is going to blow your mind. It's going to be extremely valuable for you to know that it's not a lost cause. If you're an introvert, you don't like socializing, small talks, and being one of those political people, you don't have to be, right? There are ways you can actually capitalize on the strengths that you already have, and I'll be talking about that as well. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I am audible and visible. So I get, just type a yes or a Y in the chat so that I know, or give me a thumbs up, something. Yeah. Okay, good. So I think we are doing good. So I'm streaming this live on LinkedIn and on YouTube at the same time. So I'm skipping the Zoho webinar as of now because I feel like it delays the entire process a little bit. So I'm keeping it very crisp and to the point. So I hope you find this session enjoyable. But if you haven't heard about me, if you don't know who I am, my name is Rakesh Ravindran. I'm a leadership mentor and a consultant in leadership. I actually help a lot of mid level managers with their career strategy and how exactly to go. I'll be talking about a 60-day challenge at the end of this video. I would hope that you will stick around. Today is not going to be a very long one. It's going to be about 20 minutes. And I hope that you find value in seeing how you can navigate office politics. If you hated office politics, this is the video that you should watch so that you know that office politics is not something that you stay away from. You actually have to be part of it, right? And it's not a bad thing. A lot of us sort of associate office politics to be bad. Well, there are some nasty ones, right? Stay away from them. What I mean by office politics is Say you see a person go and talk to a senior leader when they travel overseas or come over offshore to our offices, or you see something where a junior staff is going and talking or having one-on-ones or coffee with a senior leader. I know a lot of managers and a lot of mid-level leaders would not leaders, staff would look at it and say, oh, he's buttering up the boss or she's buttering up the boss. In fact, it may not be that at all, right? You have to look at the positive intent behind it. Extroverts like to socialize and mingle with a lot of people, so they are happy to do that. Some of us, like me, as an introvert, I wouldn't want to do that. That's not something that I'm really good at. But give me an opportunity to talk to anybody in the organization specific to the content or the work that I do, I'm happy to do that, right? And that is what you can capitalize as well. So I'll be talking about that. So let's get going. Yeah. So if you, like I said, if you hate office politics, you're probably losing them already, losing at that already, right? The office politics. You have probably been told that if you just keep your head down, do excellent work, and hit all of your KPIs, the promotion and the pay raises will naturally follow. That's what we've been told. We've been told from a very young age when we are in school, just do your job, results will follow. That's what we were told. But then you see in corporate world, when you sit in a meeting and watch the loudest person, the extroverts in the room, someone who does half your work and still get all the credit and the promotion or increase in pay much faster than you, even though you have worked much harder, produced much better results, and you associate that to office politics, that might be a problem. Yeah, you call it playing politics. You hate it as well. You might hate it, but the truth is, office politics isn't about being fake or sucking up. Like I said, it's not buttering up the boss, right? It's simply the map of how human beings make decisions. Think about it. Pretty much every decision that you make has got some element of what you know about that decision already. And if you are someone who refuses to look at that map, right? You can't figure out what that map is. You cannot complain when your career gets lost in it. So today I'm going to show you how to win the game of office politics without compromising your integrity. And we are not going to try and outshout the extroverts, right? We are not going to outshout or outmaneuver others. We're just going to capitalize on what you already have as a great strength, right? As an introvert, as someone who prefers to be quiet, the the weapon that you already have is your ability to connect with people on one-on-one basis, right? You have to understand that the core problem is that it's the difference between going deep or going wide. You going sort of all over the place, right? It's If you are someone who likes to have a connect one on one, you now have a chance to go deep. Now, the fact is that most mid-level managers hit a wall in their career because they misunderstand how influence really works, right? Loud, highly extroverted professionals, um, Milton, hi. Highly extroverted professionals naturally play a wide game, right? They try and associate everything that they do with a whole bunch of people. They like going wide. They speak up in every large meeting. They dominate the group thread you have in your social media or whatever you have in your office, the Teams chat or the Slack, right? And they make sure everyone sees them. That's something they have as a strength. That's something that they're good at naturally. That's what extroversion is, quite frankly, right? But if you are a quieter professional trying to play the wide game, you will be exhausted if you try to do the same thing. You can't match up to that. That kind of energy that kind of activity is not something that an introvert person will be energized by. It'll drain your energy, right? It'll feel inauthentic. In fact, you will feel like you are having to fake it. And if you heard fake it until you make it, this is one of the areas where it is not going to work. So the question is, what do you do now? right? Should you just not play the politics at all? No, no. That's where you lose out, because you stay away from the office politics. You already lost out. But that is the second way to build influence. There's another way to do that. Now, like I said, extroverts like to go wide, right? They are there everywhere. They can be loud, they can be very, outgoing, mingle, and get along with everybody. If there is an office party, they will say hi to pretty much everybody and strike a conversation, which you will struggle with as an introvert. So, what do? You have to go deep. Instead of going wide, you go deep. And you have to realize why that is important. Now think about it. Decisions about who gets promoted or who gets the best projects or who gets the best budget or the most budget for a project that you are running, and if you're pitching for the budget, you have to understand that those decisions are rarely made in the in a loud meeting room, right? It never gets done there. Yeah, there is information being passed along, and there is certain impressions being created or influences being built in those rooms. But then the problem is that as introverts, we don't want to necessarily be in that meeting loud and putting ourselves in the middle of the whole thing. The meeting is just where the decision is announced. You have to realize that a lot of the decision has already been done, right? The actual decision was probably done 3 days back in a series of quiet conversations, and those are one-on-one conversations. And that is where you can operate. And I'm going to walk you through my 3-step framework. I wish I had the slide, but today I'm not going to do it because I failed at it in the past few live sessions, because I am so into talking that I sometimes don't move forward on the slide. So I'm going to skip it. I'm just going to talk about it. Yeah. Like I said, there's going to be a video on my YouTube by Thursday, which will be a curated version of the same content. So you can go watch that as well. Please like and subscribe to the channel so that you're notified every time I come live on YouTube. But on LinkedIn, I will post at least a few hours before so that you can be on this channel. So the framework, the 3-step framework, what is it? It's 3-step framework to go deep. That's the strategy that we're going to talk about. So here is the exact 3-step playbook to map and build your influence, right? First step is to identify the nodes. I'll repeat it. Identify the nodes. Look past the official organizational chart, right? You need to find the informal power brokers in your company. Who are the informal, the information hubs, as you may call it? So there is a grapevine in the organization. Now, these are the people who everyone else naturally goes for advice. It might be a senior engineer, a subject matter expert, or it could be a very specific product manager or an executive assistant, right? Identify the top 3 nodes in your ecosystem. It is not going to be that difficult, to be honest. It is about observing and identifying those specific people who are the influencers for the decision makers. Most likely than not, you already know who they are, right? If you think about it, you will know who they are in your organization, within your closer circle, right? This is the person, say, the director checks in with or usually calls out during a meeting and seeks advice from them. So there is a high stake meeting. The director is most likely than not gravitating toward one person to sort of look for their perspective on the subject that is being discussed. So now you need to find out who those influencers are. That's what is finding out the notes about, right? So you need to find out who those people are. Great. So step number 2, right? That is, I call it the advise ambush, right? Introverts, as the people who prefer to be silent, right? We don't want to hoot our own horns, often get drained by large groups, but thrive in intimate intellectual conversation. We love having intellectual conversation with people that we resonate with. But at the same time, if I put an introvert in a group of people that they don't resonate with, that will drain their energy off. They'll just stand in the corner and not interact with anybody, right? But give me a chance to have a one-on-one conversation, an intellectual conversation, I'm energized by it. So reach out to those keynotes. So you have identified those keynotes, right? Reach out to them and schedule a quick 15-minute one-on-one conversation with them. But here's the thing, do not go to them to pitch yourself. You're not going to go there to market yourself, right? Instead, go to them and ask them for advice on a specific problem you are trying to solve. Yeah, have to be careful. It is a specific problem you are trying to solve. It could be anything that is very specific to your team, the department that you're working with, or it could be a larger organization. Maybe you're responsible to show certain results in certain areas within the larger group, possibly. The more, the better, right? The reason I say that is because psychologically, when you ask someone for advice, you aren't just getting data, right? You are building an alliance. People love to feel valued. And when you implement their advice, they suddenly have a vested interest in your success, right? Because they have given some ideas to you. Now they have a vested interest in your success. So what you've done is you've just recruited a powerful ally without ever having to brag about yourself. And you hate that anyway, right? Now that's the step number 2. And then we go into step number 3. And I call this persuasion, right? It's not persuasion, it's persuasion, right? This is the most critical step. Now, the biggest mistake you can make is pitching a new idea or a strategy cold in a group meeting. So, for example, if you're going into a high-stake meeting where you are pitching something new, you're bringing a new idea that you want to buy in from that group, and if you're just going there and just pitching that out cold, that's when the loudest person will poke holes in it and derail your momentum, right? They will look at every little loophole and start to meddle with it and make you nervous, and then everything goes out of the window. So instead of you going into the meeting and just pitching it, what you do is you have those notes that you've identified, you've established certain relationship, you've had one-to-ones with them, hopefully. And if not, it's not a problem, right? But if you know there are stakeholders, key stakeholders from that meeting, more likely than not, the notes that you've identified are one of those, right? If not, you can expand it. Go reach out to those stakeholders, right? Set up a one-on-one with those people. In one-on-ones earlier gather feedback from them, like I said. So you set up those one-on-ones, gather feedback from them, adjust your ideas. What you do is seek that feedback, see what works for you, and adjust their whatever they say. I'm not saying just blindly implement or change your entire idea. What you do is basically try and adjust to their tone of language or the way they prescribe certain things. Just adjust it to just about enough to not derail your entire project plan, right? So, but then you sort of take in inputs from them, and you already have some nodes of people that you've already reached out to. Hopefully, some of them, if not at least one of them, are part of that group. And what you do is you privately get their buy-in on that project already. By the time the big group meeting happens, the high stakes meeting happen, you aren't pitching a new idea entirely. You are simply summarizing a consensus that already exists. When the loudest person tries to interrupt, your silent allies will step in and defend you and the idea that you bring in. Now that could be really, really powerful. So what you're doing is establishing key stakeholders and getting their buy-ins much before the high stakes meeting happens, so that they will pitch for you, right? If there are rebuttals that comes in, they will defend that idea for you. And because as part of your ability or your reach to your nodes, the special people that have influence over the decision makers, you're basically also getting them on board with you, right? So you sort of cover all the bases, and that's how you progress, right? So what is the big difference, right? So now instead of going wide, what you've done is you've gone deep in one-on-ones, and this will completely change how you are perceived at work. You will move from being seen as a reliable worker, just a worker, to a strategic leader. But building alliances is only half the battle. Eventually, you have to take that influence, walk into your manager's office, and explicitly ask for the promotion or the 30% pay bump that you are hoping for, right? And if you freeze up in that specific one-on-one, all your work, all your hard work and influence won't translate into the income that you are hoping for, right? You need a proven framework for how to negotiate a compensation and title without feeling greedy or aggressive. Now, I know a lot of people still hesitate to ask for those promotions or increase in pay because you either feel like, oh, our culture isn't about asking, or what if they see me as greedy, or what if they think that I'm being very self-centered about this whole thing. The fact is that if you don't ask, somebody who's asked is going to get all of the benefits, right? They'll get promoted, they'll get a better pay. So the first thing you need to do is to ask. Do not hesitate to ask. Of course, you can't just go and ask, give me a promotion because I spent 15 years in the organization, or I've spent 5 years in the role. That doesn't work, right? So that's pretty much everybody's story. So there's going to be some kind of a justification that everybody have, right? So you have to follow a proven framework for how to negotiate your compensation and title without feeling guilty or feeling that greed, no, right? You shouldn't have to feel greedy at all in asking for it. So I've recently put together a 60-day challenge. It is a self-paced, pre-recorded challenge, a 60-day challenge. All you have to do is take small action every day that you can, every single day, just follow those actions, and you might be able to build some habits. All you need to invest is about 30 minutes every day, and by the end of 60 days, I can guarantee that you are going to see a complete shift in your leadership habits and your understanding of the secrets of career growth. And this is the exact system I have used to grow in my career and have helped hundreds of others like you, and that has been extremely beneficial. Now, a lot of people who have taken it, one thing that I've seen commonly being told is that I wish I had done that earlier, right? It's fun to do, and in 60 days you would have mastered the art of influence and how to ask for what you want, the exact scripts that you can use, all customized to your specific use case using AI prompts. There are AI prompts. All of the activities, or most of the activities, are driven by AI prompts. So it's not going to be one thing fits all, right? It's going to be very specific to your use case. You plug in your information that helps you, it gives you the exact script that you can use, right? So, hey, cool, thank you. So this self-paced course will help in breaking down the exact scripts and negotiation frameworks you need to turn your visibility into higher salary and a better title, right? The links in the description, actually, I've already put that in. And if you are tired of watching other people get the roles you know you deserve, click that link, secure your spot. That it's very easy to do. Your homework for today, based on this today's video, is simple. First thing is, stop avoiding the politics. It's part of it. If you accept it, it's good for you, right? Identify at least one node within your this week in your company. Figure out who that is, right? And it's not going to be very difficult. I'm pretty sure you know who that is, right? And put in 15 minutes advice chat on their calendar. 15 minutes is all you need, and you're not going there and marketing yourself. You're just going to ask them for advice, and they will appreciate you for it. Human psychology is that when you ask for advice and when they have given their advice, they have a vested interest in your success, right? So now play the deep game, right? Before going into any high stakes meeting, if you are pitching for a new idea, make sure that you already have some buy-ins within that group. Hopefully they are part of the nodes that you have already got, or it could be one of the biggest decision maker of that meeting. If you can try and get them to work with you, great. Now hit the subscribe button if you want more strategies on YouTube for quiet leaders. And if you are not following me on LinkedIn, please go ahead and follow me, because I put in uh, some kind of an information knowledge post every single day, and I will see you in the next video. But I will be taking questions before I close for today, and if there are any questions specifically want me to address, and if you want me to talk about a specific topic next week, please let me know in the chat and I will try and make it, right? So as of now, I don't see anything. Milton, thank you so much for being so active on the chat. Range Rover, Young E Range Rover, thank you for putting in the comment. Thank you. And that's YouTube. Let me see. Okay, LinkedIn, and I'm not running anything on Zoho today, so that's pretty much it. If there are any questions that you'd like me to address, please let me know and I'll be happy to talk about it. If there is any specific topic that you would like me to cover, challenges that you have at your career that you think that I could give some input into, just feel free to put that in there as well, and I will try and cover that in my future videos. So if there are no other questions, I'm gonna stop the stream. Okay, thank you, Range Rover. Okay, LinkedIn got a lot of viewers there, but no comments yet. No questions, I suppose, for today. Cool. Thank you, folks. Like I said, subscribe to my channel so that you are notified every time I come live or when I post a video. Check out the channel. I've got a lot of content on there on YouTube, and then again, I'll encourage you to go check out my LinkedIn profile. Follow me there as well. I'll put out. I usually put out at least one post pretty much every single day. And yeah, so that's about it. I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you are from the world. Thank you so much. I hope you have a successful career. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Oh, okay, so looks like somebody may have a question. Now, just to let you know, it takes a while for the question to come up on my stream. It's about 20-15 seconds delayed. So I'm happy to stay back if there are more questions, but otherwise, thank you for sticking around, folks. Let's see. If there aren't anything else. Okay.